cast too.
everything.
He's gonna steal. Then he's gonna sell it back to me for like quadruple the price. That's how Ian operates. He's got to buy
Yeah.
some more fancy shirts. And with the likelihood that Kamala may win the election, he's gonna have to save up his money to buy more pills.
That's it.
Well, let's steer clear of politics, Rick. We don't want to lose half our base.
That's right.
I
So
think
good
our
morning,
base is probably
everybody.
more
We
than
got
half.
special guest Alex. We're going to give it about 30 more seconds here, and we're going to get started. Rick, you're recording it, I saw. You're going to break it up into clips? Okay, awesome. I
It
won't
well
record.
depends. It depends if Alex is good or if he like drops a poop nugget. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, they'll give me the big X halfway through my conversation. You gotta work on that. You gotta have a stream deck. You ever see those stream deck things where you press buttons and things happen on screen? It'd be big X.
Well, while we're waiting, Alex, quick question. Is it okay? Can I
Yeah.
ask a question while we're waiting in?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what motivated you to create Fuel?
Oh,
Oh,
come
man.
on. Why, you let him have that in the bio.
Oh,
Oh.
well, I figured while people are on waiting, no one
Who's
reads
No,
it.
curious?
no,
He's-
'cause we got to get started. 10:01
He's a
now.
good
Okay,
host.
then never mind. I know.
All right.
Tell
Good
him.
morning, everybody. Thank you for hopping on Mortgage Marketing Club. We have a special guest today, Alex. Alex, forgive me, man. I feel like I always butcher your last name.
Everyone does.
Kutsishin?
What? You didn't butcher it at all. You gave it. That was perfect, man. I wish
Oh.
my high school teachers could say it like that.
Mr. K. So we got Alex on,
Coach
who is
K.
the
Coach K.
founder of Fuel. And obviously, if you're probably seeing him, and I personally have been in the industry for over 12 years now, and I've seen Alex, I've known Alex, I've followed him for years. He goes back well before Fuel, which we'll get into in a little bit. But special guest today, we're gonna be talking about finding, attracting, retaining referral partners, top talent, growing your business. Alex, before we get started, for those that are new, first time watching this on the playthrough, you could join our Facebook group, Mortgage Marketing Club. It's free. Rick, anything you want to add? Did I miss anything on Alex?
I mean, sounds like you got most of it right. I was really surprised
Awesome.
that you got his last name right.
Yeah.
Alex,
Bonus points
just
for
so
that.
for those that don't know you, why don't you just give everybody a quick Reader's Digest version, a quick bio of yourself, and then we're going to jump into today's call.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. I'll try to do it in 90 seconds or less.
Good luck.
I was blessed and lucky that my parents brought me from the Ukraine in 1990 to the United States along with my brother. I was 7, he was 9, and they came here with a simple dream, right? Keep their kids out of war, and hopefully give them a better life than they had, and not have to look over our shoulders as we live our lives. And so they took the opportunity of moving to the United States really seriously, meaning within 2 years of coming to a country where they didn't know the language, they both owned their own businesses. Okay. And so I guess from an early age, I recognized that they were a lot happier when they were running their own businesses than they were before that. And so I think that probably left a positive impact on me. And I started my first business at 20. And, it's cool that this is called the Marketing Club because I built every single company I've ever been involved with on marketing, communication. Because what is marketing? Marketing is just communication, right? That's it. It's all it is. It's words, and words are magic, and you can use magic in a good way or a bad way. It's up to you. But all marketing is communication. Communication is words, right? And so I took an entrepreneurial career from age 20 of just kind of starting a small business in Washington, D.C. to now on company number 10 with Fuel. And the mission has always been the same. It's build solutions that can help as many people as possible by building a team of people who are self-sufficient and self-sustaining for what they want to achieve in their lives. They're not doing it for Alex, they're doing it for themselves. They just happen to be part of the team that's doing whatever we're up to at this point. And today it's Fuel. So just I'm very grateful and blessed to have had a successful entrepreneurial career that continues, and that I got to find the thing that I love to do, my sport, my hobby, my art, which is building teams and building businesses. So excited to be here, excited to talk to the group, and Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
curious what
Awesome.
can happen from
So
today.
I didn't know your backstory. I didn't know you were from Ukraine, but I feel
Yeah.
like your origin backstory and what you're doing, like you're like another Gary V. Gary V's from Belarus. You're from Ukraine. You guys both came over. Both parents were entrepreneurs, and both y'all are scaling something massive and see an opportunity. And I think that's amazing.
I love that. Well, it's funny because Gary Vee's on the list for Fuel, so we'll be talking to him. His company just accepted Fuel into their program, as everybody knows.
That's awesome.
VaynerMedia does
Awesome.
a
Congrats.
really tough time filtering through who they want to be a part of and not. We made it through the process, and now we're just waiting to pull the trigger on what we want to do with them. So excited to work with him.
Nice.
And what I also like for anybody that goes out and actually Googles Alex on Google, he has tons of YouTube videos of him getting out and speaking with companies. And I'm sure we'll to get more into this about like growing your business. But the more reps you get, the better you get at the conversation. And one of the things
No
he talked
question.
about was communication and conversation. And like it's evident that this guy's Alex is constantly putting himself out there to get the reps and have those conversations, which definitely improves his sales ability. That's
Absolutely.
just from an observation I've seen.
Yeah, well said.
So, Alex, today's call, we're going to be talking about attracting top talent, retaining top talent, referral partners. Let's just start with the basics and share with everybody. Step number one, how are you identifying potential referral partners? What are you doing? What does that look like for you? Walk us
So
through.
look, the best way to find referral partners, and you might see me bounce around here as I make some points, but the ultimate referral partners are people that you can help. So let's stop right there for a second. Okay, the perfect referral partner is one you can help. Okay, you can't help a referral partner, stop it. Okay, like don't even start the conversation, not yet. Okay, because it's got to be reciprocal. And yes, okay, yes, you 100% can get referrals from people before you refer business to them, but don't go into it unless you know you can and will refer business to them, because it has to be something that you are confident you can support the relationship as well. So typically, and I'll go all the way back to my 20s and going to networking events, and that is how we used to find referral partners. It wasn't online. I'm talking about, the 2000s or early 2000s, I guess mid 2000s, where you're looking for people in a physical location and not in a digital location. And one of the things that I can tell you was a superpower is when I'd meet someone at a networking event. Hey, so and so, interested in who they are. Who are you looking to meet here? Who's important for you to meet here today, right away? Not asking about how they can refer business to me. Like I don't even know half the people in the room. I don't know 95% of the people in the room, but I would know a few. And they'd say, "Oh, I need to meet this person." You know what? Here, come here. I would just bring them to the person I know knew everyone, right? And all of a sudden, I'm the conduit. But I didn't do anything. I just made an introduction to someone that actually could help them, but I couldn't. That's in a physical, we're in a space where we need to create value for ourselves versus some other people in the room. And so the next time they see me in that space, Alex, come here, right? It was instant. It wasn't even, I didn't have to say anything. I've already created value in my relationship. So number one, if you want to have a strong referral partnership, be ready to give that person value right away. I mean, instantly. So that would be number one.
Can I comment on number one before we go number two?
Please. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's so interesting that you start off with that as number one. I was just at a conference Thursday in San Diego, the NARP conference. 7,000 people were in attendance, and I've been involved with the organization 14 plus years. So I noticed that when I was walking around the conference, I would see a lot of new faces, people sitting down, new faces. So I would walk up to these new faces and just ask, "Is this your first time at the conference?" And they'd be like, "Yes, it is," or "It's my second or third time." And I was like, "Cool. Do you want to meet more people?" And I would grab them by the arm and just walk them around the conference and introduce them to 10, 15, 20 people of my friends. And then the side effect of that is I then send them a text after the conference, thanking them for being a badass. I'm always giving love and lots of, kindness, thanking them for being a badass, asking them if they achieved their goals at the conference. And then usually they respond to me, asking me what states I'm licensed in.
So good. I mean, look,
So,
everyone on this call, right? We could hang up 9 minutes into this call, and everyone should have just gotten value. Like what you just described is it. I mean, that's it. So,
but I
so
think what
honestly,
most people miss is the follow-up component. And that's what I
definitely.
wanted to ask you
Oh, of
about
course.
improvement number two. Like, what is your, like, how would you recommend to follow up? Because not everyone's wired like me, and everyone's as crazy as I am.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so, so for those that aren't, like, what type of
Yeah.
follow-up process would you put in place after an event like that? And what would you say?
I mean, I think what you just suggested is brilliant. You don't have to take your approach of like you're a badass and things like that. And some people may not be able to grab somebody by the hand, which I recommend you practice that. That's probably the best approach in this environment, especially in a place where we're so disconnected. We're connected through screens like this. And when somebody, maybe not physically, because Rick could hurt somebody if he grabbed their hand, but maybe he gently ushered them to meet some people. But what it's actually an incredible thing. And then the follow up, everyone knows here, it's so much easier to follow up with someone that you had an experience with versus someone I sat across the table from them and we ate lunch and I grabbed their card. Now you don't know how to follow up. It's like a weird thing. It feels that it's going to be forceful. But if you did what Rick is talking about and some of what I was talking about, and you start making introductions, you've already created an experience that the follow up is easy. What you just said, Rick, I don't have to change much what I would do. I did the same thing. Did you get everything you wanted? How did that conversation go? Did you ever connect with Steve that I introduced you to and you said you loved what you were talking about for those 30 minutes? Like that's it. I would follow up and create a stitch the experience together. Don't separate it. Don't all of a sudden I met you here. Hey, you got any things you can send me for this thing tomorrow? No, it's stitch it together. Let them remember what happened even though they would because you've made an experience already. But stitch it together. Hey, how'd that go? How'd this? You're a rock star. You're a badass. Whatever it is that reminds them. Like if Rick sent somebody you're a badass, they'd remember Rick as a badass, and it actually stitched the experience together. And now it's a continuation of what happened. It's not separated. So my follow up would be very much about how do I remind them about how we had an experience yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, whatever happened. But don't come out of left field. Just bring it back together. So a reminder of how, this relationship even got started. So what you described, Rick, is perfect, which is probably why you're good at networking. So yeah, that's exactly how I'd follow up. I'd remind them of the value we already had together. That would be
I
my,
like what you said about creating an experience. And I never really thought
yeah,
of it like that, but you're right. Like when you create an experience that's different than what the common lunch, grabbing lunch with
yeah.
somebody or grabbing coffee, when you create an experience that's built more on going deep with one another or finding a common interest, it's a lot easier to follow up and that relationship is more fruitful.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing. People have to remember this. Um, Most people will not remember what you say to them in detail. Scientifically, let's just get scientific. 5% of everything you hear, you will remember. So, unfortunately, 5% of what I say right now, you'll actually remember for the entire time we spent together. If you want to remember more, you're going to take notes. And you're going to take notes in a way that's important to you. And then maybe you'll increase that percentage because 10% of what you read, you retain. So you're hearing, you're writing, you're reading your own stuff, you could retain a little bit more. But you know what you won't forget? My energy. Energy is not forgotten. Energy is something that is transferred. And so when you're meeting people, trust me, they will not remember that amazing thing you just said about your business. They will not remember any of that, but they'll remember how you present yourself. They'll remember who you were, how you represented who you were. And when you reconnect with them, they will remember the feeling they had around you, not the facts that you said. Now, there may have been something you said in that 5% that blew their mind, and they will butcher it when they say it back to you. Like, hey, what's that thing you said about that 25% return? And you're like, you mean the 5% return? They heard it very differently, but it doesn't matter, right? So there's going to be something they will remember word wise, but mostly they'll remember who you were. So an experience is part of your way of being unforgettable. That's actually a secret, a little trick. Is why do people are like, hey, he's charismatic. That's why do charismatic people get? Hey, come here. Remember people don't even remember charismatic people's names. They're like, come here. I remember me. It's because of the energy that's transferred. So when you're meeting people, referral partners in physical or even on the phone, make sure that your energy is transferred, right? What kind of energy do you want to transfer to the person that you're meeting with? That you want to create brilliant results. Make sure your energy is right. That's the truth. I mean, that's the real secret that nobody talks about. Make sure you come into it with the right energy. When you can, life is horrible. I'm at this networking event. Hey, nice to meet you. Here's my card. They can't wait to leave you, right? That's all. You know what they'll remember? They'll remember I need to stay away from that person. That is, I promise you. They won't remember a word you said. They'll just be like, I don't know, but I just need to stay away. And so energetically, that's something for each of you. Like, okay, I look at Rick and I look at Ian. What do you see when you look at people like that? Confidence, right? Like just like a natural confidence.
I was thinking
and that's
sexy, but
yeah. Is that for you or for Ian?
definitely not Ian.
Rick's in the mirror there.
So it is really like, so here's a piece of information prior to the networking referral building part. Come to every conversation only after you've taken like 3 or 4 minutes of breath work. I didn't turn on this camera until right? If you watch a fighter before a fight, what's he doing? If you watch a quarterback before he steps on the field, before the first play, he's getting all his emotions out, right? He's stretching, he's getting his breath right, getting his heart right, getting his energy right. And then he comes out, right? And so that's something you won't hear a lot of people talk about, because that is probably the underlying reason why anyone is extremely successful, is they come to things, they show up as the best version of themselves already. And then magic happens.
Awesome. So let's keep things going. We identify, the referral partners, et cetera. The majority of the membership of the club is obviously on the mortgage side. We do have a good amount of realtors as well, and some, industry peers. But let's pretend, though, giving advice for a loan officer, what's the best way you would advise, or strategy, to share to provide value to these referral partners, so that they are motivated to send business your way, right? Like what should a loan officer be offering to these referral partners, how they can help them? You're saying, make sure you can give something to them before what, in your opinion, what should that look like? What should the loan officer be saying? What should they be focusing on?
Let's role play right now. If you're a realtor, right? Or what's another referral partner? I think realtor, everyone. I think that one of the first things that everyone should do is make a list of everyone that can be your referral partner. Graphic, interior designers, insurance companies, realtors, attorneys. Like, first of all, make that a thing for you, right? Don't just stick one direction where everyone is talking to that person. Like, who else is an influence in your area? Who's going to influence the new generation? Okay, don't be thinking about all the old like what is influencing the new generation, and how can I talk to that person, because that's the person that's going to be able to influence thousands. There might be a referral partner that's just online. That's just literally an online influencer, and you're like, how do I help them? Okay, so doesn't matter who it is. It starts with a simple question. How can I help you? It really starts. It's that what would help you, right? Yep. It's as simple as that. And I think, we often try to overcomplicate things. It's really not that hard. Think about for a second your life partner. When you want to go and do something with them, what do? What are you in the mood for? What would you like to do? It's simple. It's as simple as that, right? And so same thing with your referral partners. What would be helpful? What would be helpful today? Hey, what about a year from now? Where would you like to see yourself a year from now? Man, no one ever asked me that question. I don't know. I'd like to be doing blank, blank. Oh, you know what? I know, blank, boom, 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 start making connections, right? And so don't just think a referral partner needs more business. Sometimes it's something else. I have not taken a vacation, and I hate planning this. So for me, my goal for the end of the year is to take a nice vacation. I have my sister is a travel agent that does these custom experiences. Are you into experiences, or you just want to go relax? I love experiences. Let me connect you. Boom. You don't even need sending business. It's the value. You never know what someone needs. So just ask. And that is something that I promise your referral partners. I'm like, well, I need more business. Okay, great. What kind of business? Don't just say, okay, I'll send you everything I got. No. What kind of business are you looking for? You like those $90,000 apartments? No, man, I want to sell $500,000 homes. Okay, got it. So you like more of the affluent type of referrals? Oh yeah, I'm 500,000. Great, right? Or the opposite. You know what? I only deal with low income families, and I just don't. When I get into a partnership, I have to add value, and I feel like if I don't send you a $500,000 property, you won't want to do business with me. Right? That vulnerability, let them say, no. I get smaller homes too. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm looking for somebody that is really good with low income families, because most of my people deal with, high income families, and they don't even know how to talk properly with these. So you know what? I'm so glad you brought this up. So again, just ask. And when they say, I need, I'd love 10 referrals a year from you. Okay. What kind? Don't just be like, great, I'll do it for you. What kind? Right? Just get curious. As a matter of fact, that's probably the best way to live life, is through curiosity instead of expectations, right? A lot of, you'll save yourself a lot of heartache. But that's it. That's it, Ian. Just curiosity. I mean, just ask. I mean, why try to assume, right? What is that thing about assume? You make an ass out of you and me,
Right.
right? So don't assume. Just ask, and that's the
Yeah.
easiest and most respectful, by the way.
Right. No, it's interesting because we always have guest speakers on, right? Once or twice a month. And I don't think, Rick, I mean, maybe not, what did Roger Clemens say? I'm misremembering. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't think anybody ever said, just flat out asking the referral partner, whoever you're talking to, whether it be an attorney, a realtor, financial planner, how can I help you? Because they
Yeah.
might not need, like, as loan officers, we think of, what if I could send you leads? They might not need the leads. They might say, like, I need someone helping with my CRM. I don't have any follow-up
Right.
campaigns. Can you help me? What is a good follow-up strategy? And just taking the time, I know Rick does a lot of business planning stuff. Sitting down and offering a business plan. Hey, you're stuck at this. Is how I can help you get to this.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
brilliant.
it's, uh, it just be direct. How can I help you? What do you need? I wrote it down
Yeah.
in the chat. This
But
way.
also be clear. What do you need right now? What do you need a year for? Like, what do you think? What are your goals for the rest of the year? Like, what do you want to, just be curious. I think one of the best things that everyone on this call can remember is just be curious. If you're coming in with a personal game plan of how you're going to do this, like every word is manicured and proper, I think you'll find what Mike Tyson said to be true. The entire plan changes once you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And so come loose, right? Come be ready. Be like, look, I know I'm coming here to add value. I'm not here to ask for anything. I'm here to give something. And I'm here to learn if there's a real relationship here. Hey, what do you like to do for fun, Mr. or Mrs. Realtor? I like to kick animals. Well, it was nice seeing you, right? You might not even want to do business with this person. So don't just assume you're coming in there being like, this is going to be my best referral partner. Just come in and get to know someone, and then be like, whoa, this person, I know we can work well together. We gel. Todd, my co-founder, everyone knows him. He would talk about how he wouldn't go after 90 realtors. And Todd's done over 6,000 loans in his career. He didn't go after every realtor. He went after the ones that he knew he would be able to work with and add value to, and they could add value to his life. And he took 3 years one time to build a relationship with one realtor that didn't send him anything for 3 years. But he knew that she and him, there was something there. He knew he could work with her. She was a top of her industry. He was the top of his industry. He knew it was just a matter of time, and he took 3 years, and then she sent him, I think, cumulatively more business over their career together than any other realtor. But it took 3 years, and it was patience. But he's like, I sent her something of value every single week. Some kind of email with a little link to value, some kind of note, some kind of letter, introduced her to someone nonstop. 3 years. But then became the best. And it was only because they built a relationship. She didn't blow him off. She wasn't like, I'm not interested. She was just like, thank you. We'll find time. We'll definitely make this work at some point. And that point happened. So make sure you pick the right people too. I think that's actually one of the, because we're talking about retaining and finding talent and referral partners. I think most important is it's someone think about it like this. Who would I be able to have a nice long conversation with this person, not about business? Could I sit and have a beer with this person for 3 hours and talk about life? If the answer is no, you're probably going to have a roller coaster of a relationship. If the answer is yes, it's just a matter of time before both of you are multiplying your results.
Yeah. Rick, did you have a follow-up?
Man, there's so many good nuggets here. The other thing he talked about that other guests haven't talked about in the past was creating a list of people you want to work with. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's critical because many times we wake up and we want to call and prospect, but if you don't have a list you're calling or prospecting off of, like who are you reaching out to? So, Alex, what would you recommend for the LOs in this call that may not have any partners? Like, how would they
Yeah.
start that list?
Yeah. I mean, so first of all, I think about what you're looking to accomplish. Okay, you're looking to put more people into the right financial vehicle for them, right? So first of all, I like to tell everyone on this call, you shouldn't be slinging debt. I've heard that phrase a lot. Yeah, just slinging debt. I'm like, you're just slinging debt to people that don't even understand what finances are. Let's not just sling debt. Let's put people in the right financial vehicles for them. So first of all, just understand what business you're in. Then what you're looking to accomplish, you're looking to put more people into more of these better financial vehicles. Who can help you do that? What are these people doing? Well, they're probably buying cars. I've never heard anyone talk about referral partners in auto dealerships. And I think that's a huge missed opportunity. All those people are in your area, all of them. And they're obviously qualified to buy a car. So they're probably qualified to potentially. I mean, a car is different on credit, but they're all. So my whole point was I always wondered why people didn't build relationships with auto dealerships. I'm like, I feel like all your customers are going there too. So think about where your customers are, right? Attorneys, accountants, obviously realtors, because that's a direct connection, but everyone is going to be doing that. So just think about where your customers might be heading, where they're hanging out in your local area, and build relationships. Make a list. Like, okay, so how do I help? If I say auto, how do I help these people, right? Because remember, when you make the list, how will you help them? Don't go talk to them until you know what value you're going to bring to them, because that's the thing you want to do. So I would do a list of everyone in the area that you think is an influence that could just be like, hey, you know what? You said you're getting ready to move to this area. Let me introduce you to someone, right? So that's a great way. Interior designers. I met a lady that has a mortgage practice in Florida, and 90% of her referrals come from interior designers. And she said, Alex, almost every referral from this interior designer is over $1 million property.
Wow.
Almost
Good
all of them.
source. Good
It's a
source.
great
Good lead
source.
You know,
It's
interior
it's
designers.
brilliant.
Yeah.
And so she does special stuff for these interior designers. She makes them feel so special. And so I just think that's a really, really cool angle that I thought somebody was using. But again, she brings them lots of value, which is why they come back and work with her. So make a list. Do not make the obvious list and be like, oh, realtor's done. That was easy. I'm so glad I attended that call that morning. Realtor, that's a list of one. No, get creative. Write something that you'd be like, man, could that really work? Try it, right? A
Alex.
lot of people don't get approached to be referral partners, but
Right.
realtors get approached every day.
Yeah. So obviously, if we just expand on that, right? Like you go and you start talking to interior designers, for example, they're obviously probably on meeting number one, or when you reach out to them, they're not going to have a lead to give you right away, right?
Yeah.
What would you say is a good cadence? How to regularly check in with these people? What should you be doing so that you're staying top of mind with them? That it's you can't expect to just hit them that one time and then 6 months later they're going to send you a lead, like, right? Like, so what does that look like? What do you recommend? Good cadence. How should you be checking in?
Well, one of the things I would do if I'm you and I have referral partners who are interior designers, the minute I sell a home, I contact that my interior designer and say, hey, I just got a very nice family into a property. I'd like to mention to them that I have a relationship with you. Would that be okay if I shared your information? What? For right away? I mean that yeah. So every time, as a matter of fact, all the people in your team or in your company, and you hear they sell a home, like, hey, was that a new? But yeah, it's a new build they just got. Um, can I introduce them to an interior designer that's in the area that just might give them some ideas, even if it's not your sale? Because most people won't have that relationship. Like, hey, I want to help your realtor and help your customer here. Oh, that would be awesome. Would you do that? Yeah, I'd definitely do that. So, I would, if I don't sell a property or have someone that's getting into a property in any given month, I would follow up with some sort of interesting thing about, you may go and find a beautiful property and just be like, hey, just wanted to send this along to you. This was an award-winning property out in Seattle, Washington, and I know this is what you do for a living. I don't know if you've seen this article, but they're talking about new trends. I don't know. I'm sure you already know all this stuff, but just a little something, knowing that you know what industry they're in and that you're interested in them and you're remembering them.
Right.
And remember, interior designers are proper. They're clean cut. They're artistic. They're purposeful. So what else can you do there, right? Can you invite them out somewhere to a fun art gallery, to a little event that's unique or something, to a music event? So, even if they say no, an invitation is enough, because that's the value, that's the give. That's what they remember. Remember, that's the transfer of energy. Is they'll remember that you did that. They won't even 6 months from now. They won't remember what you asked them to go to. I promise you, they won't remember, especially if they didn't go. But they'll remember that you did try that, and that's the energy you've left with them. So that's the kind of stuff I would do. But you're in the mortgage, and if you're partnering with an interior designer, you have the best referrals for them all day, every day. Every mortgage you do. Every mortgage you do. Hey, I have a great relationship with a bunch of interior designers in this area. Would you like an opinion, like a professional opinion on what you could do? You just bought this home. Would you like somebody to just give you an idea? Like, what a cool thing to do. And these interior designers would love that. They might say, no, you know what? That's too small of a property for me. Believe me, they'll never forget you. And they will find a situation where they're working with someone that's like, hey, I got to get out of this neighborhood. So we won't need to do a lot more work on this house, but I'm going to sell it. And can I introduce, right? And then there's an introduction. So.
Right. Absolutely. We're coming up on time. We're a little over, but last minute advice, any thoughts, anything that you want to share, loan officers, realtors?
Yeah. So look, I think, I've been asked to write a chapter in a leadership book. Okay. And I was just brainstorming and thinking of what this chapter could be called. And I'm thinking of doing something like this. The chapter will start with a big word R, just R in the middle of a page. And then you have to flip it. And it's going to say, are you doing your best? Okay. This is an important question to ask yourself, and it's a very important question for leaders to ask the people on their team. Because one of the things I'm noticing in sales specifically is how much we try to force people to get to a certain place. And one of the authors and instructors in Fuel, his name is John Murphy. He was the backup quarterback for Joe Montana in Notre Dame. Awesome dude, like incredible. He has a book he wrote that says, you don't send a duck to Eagle School. Okay? I bring this up on purpose. I really bring this up on purpose. Am I doing my best? Are you doing your best? There are some people that you will ask, are you doing your best? And they will say yes. And you will look at their numbers and you'll go, okay, you're playing the wrong sport. And that's okay. This just isn't for you. So you're talking about building top talent, retaining top talent, finding referral partners. If you want to find the best talent and best referral partners, are you doing your best? Is your team doing their best? Is there anyone on your team that is doing their best, but is nowhere near where you want them to be? Which is fine. the best thing you can do is free that person to go find the thing that they can excel at. Because if you try to turn a duck into an eagle, you're going to fail. So my biggest and best advice I can give anyone here is it's the right people. It's not just people. It's the right people that you surround yourself with. What do they say? You're the sum of the 5 people you spend most of your time with, right? So who are you spending your time with? What do your referral partners look like? What does your team look like? And are you actually playing the right sport? Look at yourself, look at your numbers, and ask, am I doing my best? And if you go, man, I really am, I'm doing everything, and I'm nowhere near where the rest of the team is in performance. I'm 5'5", and if I tried to be a center in the NBA and the coach let me, that's on the coach. Like, hello, don't let me fail over and over and over again and be like, you could do better next time. Sometimes we just have to choose a different sport. So look at yourself, look at your team, and I promise you, when you got the right people in the right seats, this conversation is easy, right? This conversation is easy. And you're going like, yeah, you know what, Alex, all that advice, that makes sense now. Yeah, because you got the right people on the bus, and you don't have to motivate the right people. Let's be clear. When you got the right people, you don't have to motivate them. You just support them, right? You just keep moving the mountains forward. Keep moving those mountains forward, because the right people don't need anything more than room to be themselves. So I really appreciate the time. Thank you for this invitation.
Absolutely.
Ian, Rick, this has been awesome. I hope this is not the last time, and I hope people got some value from this.
Absolutely. Really, Alex, thank you so much for hopping on. We'll get the recording up in the Facebook group. For those that want to follow you on Instagram that aren't following you, share with us, your platform that you use the most, how they could find you.
Yeah, LinkedIn is probably the best way for now. There is Instagram and TikTok coming, since Fuel is all about it's a video library, right, of performance instruction. So a lot of great content, video content. So we're going to be rolling out Instagram and TikTok here in the next few weeks. But for now, just find me on LinkedIn, just Alex Kutsishin, Kutsishin, or search for Fuel Inc. with an exclamation point instead of an I, and you'll find us that way as well. It's, keep investing in yourself is all I can say. And if you want to keep investing in yourself, and you need a partner in that, Fuel is that library. It's a personal development platform, the first of its kind. We don't teach you to learn new things, to put more knowledge in your head. We teach you how to implement the knowledge you already have. So it's about performance, not just knowledge gathering, right?
Yep.
Again, influenced by sports. In sports, it's not about I know how to do the play, it's about I can do the play. And same thing here. We want you to be able to do the thing you learn instead of just learn it.
Yep. Yeah. I put the link. Thanks for reminding me.
Thank you.
Myfuel.io. I put it up in the chat, guys. Great. I'm active in it. I think I'm coming up on my 7th lesson.
I can tell you, I think you're creeping up towards the top. I can tell you right now. I was looking at this today, and I saw your name pop up right towards the top. Ian is currently the number 8th most active learner in the platform.
Micro lessons, guys. It's so quick little bits of information. You're not sitting down for a 1-hour video. You're sitting down for like 2 to 5 minute videos that are really helpful, actionable takeaways. Alex, again, thank you so much for hopping on. Everybody that's on the call, thank you so much. For you that are going to watch it, thank you as well. Stay active. Feel free to join us in the Facebook group, Mortgage Marketing Club. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great day.
Thanks all.